Right, so today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one. We're going to be doing some cooking. So what we're going to be doing is a British Indian restaurant style curry. We're just doing it in one pan, no base gravy, anything like that. So right, let's crack on. First thing, we've got the pan on hot and we need some fat. What we're using, can we get this in here? There we go, ghee. This is the only stuff really to use. Don't think about using vegetable oils, they're nasty. So we want, for the one we're making today, about 4 good tablespoons of ghee. Right, now we've got the fat up to temperature, we're going to put us aromatics in. So I've got 3 quite small bay leaves. I've got an 2 inch of the, oh yeah, I've got 2 inch of cassia bark, which is the Indian cinnamon. A couple of cardamom pods, 4 cloves. All this stuff you can get from the supermarket. So we're going to give that a couple of minutes and then come back to it. Right, so that's been a couple of minutes in there. Now I've turned the heat down to medium. And we've got 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of ginger. Right, after about a minute, just move that off for a second. We need to put the spices in. Now I've done 1 teaspoon of everything just to make it easier. So we have a teaspoon of cumin, teaspoon of coriander, teaspoon of, what's that, curry powder. I've used the Madras curry powder, but any general curry powder. Teaspoon of chili powder and a teaspoon of turmeric. Now this will give medium heat, so if you want something like Madras strength, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. If you want vindaloo, then go 3. But I'm going to make this as a medium. We can always spice up a bit if we need to. So into the oil, just give it a bit of a stir just to wake the spices up. Right, so that's had about a minute. So in now is 1 large chopped onion. Come here. Right, we'll give that a couple of minutes and then check on it. Right, so that's had a couple of minutes and it's just starting to brown a little bit, which we need to stop. So I'm going to put about, where is it, a level teaspoon of salt. So the reason for putting the salt in is that will release the moisture out of the onions and it will stop them burning. What we want them to do is to soften up and make a gravy. So again, we'll turn it down to a medium heat and we'll give that 5 minutes. Right, it's at 5 minutes. Let's have a look. Oh, that's doing nicely. That's nice and soft. Right, so now for the meat. So what I've got is a pound of diced chicken breast. I would normally use thighs because it tastes nicer, but I couldn't get any, so yeah. So that's a pound or 500 grams in new money. So that's going to go in. Crank the heat back up. Give it a good mix. Now, when it comes to salting meat, my grandmother always said 1 teaspoon for every pound of meat. So we've got just over a pound there, so I'm going to go with a teaspoon of salt. It's what I've always done, and it always seems to turn out, whether it's a Sunday dinner or whether it's a curry or chilli or whatever. A teaspoon for every pound. Right, we'll put the lid on and we'll come back in 5. Right, so we've had 5 minutes. Oh, lovely. I wish I could smell this, it smells amazing. So, the onion is all breaking down now and thickening up that sauce. The chicken's starting to release some of its moisture. So at this stage we're now going to throw in, I've got here 3 quite large chopped up tomatoes. Right, we'll stick the lid on it, just drop it down to a medium heat, and we're going to give that a good 10 minutes and then come back to it. So we've had about 10 minutes now, let's have a look. Yeah, that's cooking down nicely, so I'm going to now leave the lid off it to reduce that down a bit. So we'll have a look in another 10 minutes, see what it's looking like. So we've had another 10 minutes and it's starting to thicken up. At this stage, if you want, you can take out your cinnamon and your bay leaves. You can leave them into the end, it doesn't make any difference. Right, so we're going to leave that simmering away until it gets to the right consistency. We're getting there. There'll be another 5 minutes and we should be somewhere near. Right, we're getting somewhere near now. That's looking pretty close. So what I'm going to do is throw in a good pinch of kasuri methi, which is the fenugreek leaves. I say a good amount. Right then, I reckon another 5 minutes and we should be somewhere near. You want to get to the consistency of custard. As you can see, that is getting thick now and it is starting to stick to the meat, which is how we want it. I don't know if you ever bought these jars of sauce that you brown your meat and then throw the sauce in. It never coats the meat like ones from the restaurants, but as you can see, this sauce is clinging onto the meat. This is how it should be. So, yeah, probably another 5 minutes will do that. So this is more really a technique than a recipe. I tend to just eyeball the spices in myself. I tend not to measure them. But I did it this time just so to give you an idea of the amount to put in. But yeah, if you do everything in the order I have, you know, this is what you'll end up with. There we have it. One British Indian restaurant style chicken doona. It's that style of curry. I have made this a little bit hotter. It's more of a Madras type heat. But yeah, that's how we like it anyway. So yeah, there you go. Give it a try. It's about an hour from start to finish. Like I say, it's just in one pan. You just have to keep coming back and checking it. But yeah, no mystery. That's all there is to it.